Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about how to get out of your own damn way and get shit done. We're going to be talking about how to crush your goals. January is quickly approaching, and I'm the type of person that I don't want to wait till January, until a new year to set goals. I want to be like on the path, ready to go. January comes and I've already started, like I'm already going. And so I am so excited to be able to talk to you guys about this today. I really want this to be a really great dialogue and conversation. So let's talk about goals and let's talk about how to crush our goals and get shit done, because that is what I'm all about. So are you guys ready? Let's go. I'm so excited. So I have learned through my own experience that I am both the problem and the solution in my business. Has anyone else noticed that you are both the problem and the only solution? I feel like once I realized that, it was like, oh, so all of these things, like I thought that I was waiting for some magic solution to come, and really it was within myself. I was the only one who could fix it. I was the only one who could stop sabotaging myself. I was the only one. It was just me, no one else. But one of the things that I started asking myself when I started noticing that I was sabotaging myself, I had to ask myself, what am I trying to avoid? Like, honestly, what am I trying to avoid? Because there is something why I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Why am I scrolling Facebook instead of doing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, instead of doing those income producing activities? Why? Right? So then it had to lead me into deeper questions, which is, what am I really afraid of? Am I afraid of failure? Am I afraid of success? Yes to both, right? One of my favorite stories, I talk about this story all the time. Monica has probably heard this a million times, but I love the story of the Dyson vacuum cleaner. So James Dyson, the creator of the Dyson vacuum cleaner, made over 5,000 prototypes of his vacuum before it worked the way that he wanted it to. So I refuse to believe in failure because of his story, because I feel like every single prototype that didn't work was actually a learning opportunity to say, it didn't work this way, so let me try again. Well, that didn't work. Let me try it this way. So I refuse to look at failure. If I'm learning something, I'm learning how to or how not to do something. I refuse to count that as failure. Is anyone else like, how do you guys feel about failure? The fear of failure. Is that something that you find yourself struggling with? Feel free to unmute and just talk it out.
Absolutely, I do. Another really great book that talks about learning from your failures is Failing Forward by John Maxwell. That is a very good book.
Yeah.
But yes, sometimes I do. And sometimes you just have to do it afraid.
You have to do it. You have to do it afraid. Absolutely. I'm a huge proponent of that. Even when you're scared, you do it anyways. Even when you're like, oh, I don't know what to expect, you do it anyways.
Right.
There's a book about that by Ruth Shupap, and I read that, and that's what she talks about. She talks about the mind game that what we create in our minds is worse than what we actually will be going through, but we have to break that barrier. So we should just do it anyway.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And fear can be face everything and run.
I say face everything and rise.
I say run, because honestly, I know that I'm running. And Eleanor Roosevelt was always kind of that cool one too, to say, you know what? I mean, just do it scared.
Do it scared. Absolutely.
Big fan of doing it scared, because I can't sit in the what if zone, because that gets me in too much trouble.
Yeah.
I can create 1,000 what if problems, including my cat.
Yeah.
But I can't create any solutions when I'm stuck on what if. So I'm like stick me on the diving board, let me just jump the hell in, because I got no choice after that.
Right. I'm a jump and learn how to swim as I go. Like, that's kind of how my brain works. But I have noticed, like, when we really think about the fear behind all of it and all the what ifs and whatever, I noticed for myself, and I don't know if this feels true for you guys, but it was really just the fear of change, right? The fear of change, because I don't know about you guys, but back in the day when I worked in an office and we would get a new program, I worked at a housing authority. And we went from this one program to a new internet-based program. And even though this internet-based program was going to make our lives so much easier, the change of this program was enough to paralyze people to actually decide that they were like, I can't do this job anymore. The fear of change was so great for them that they felt, I'm too old to learn something new. I don't know how to do it, so I don't even want to try, because they're afraid they're going to screw it up. They're afraid of whatever. It's really just the fear of change. And so I noticed that, and I was like, ooh, like, I don't want to be in a place where I'm afraid of change, because I look at change as growth. I look at change as a positive thing, but some people are stuck on that fixed mindset that change is bad. Well, we just always have done it this way. But I love to quote Mr. Dr. Phil and say, how's that working for you? Because, right, in order to get a different result, we have to be willing to do something different, right? Every single time. If it's not working and I go, well, shit, this is not working, what am I willing to do differently? I have to be willing to try it a different way. Just like Mr. Dyson. That didn't work. I'm going to try it a different way. So when I could acknowledge that I was the solution to my problems, then I could change my mindset, and then I would find success along the way. So anyone else here think that they have shiny object syndrome? I definitely would say I have shiny object syndrome. And one of the things that I noticed, I was like, you know what? I'm going to Google, what is shiny object syndrome? And I was like, I feel like these people are inside my head. The people that created this definition are inside my head. And so Inc.com is where I found this definition. And it said that shiny object syndrome is a condition that inflicts millions of business owners each year. Instead of focusing on the big picture tasks that fuel growth for their business, they get sidetracked by a new business idea or project that feels new and exciting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like they know me, because that would happen to me all the time. Before I could finish a project, I was already starting a new one because it was new and exciting. I wasn't giving my current project enough time to take off. It's like planting the seed of a garden, and it takes some time. You got to nurture it, you got to water it, make sure it's got sun, and then it'll start to sprout. But if I wasn't getting an immediate sprout, I would move on to the next shiny thing, because I've learned that I was struggling with, I wanted instant gratification. Can anyone else relate to that at all? Yes. Yeah. Jennifer, what do you want to say? Talk a little bit more about that.
I think so. Instant gratification for me is sort of like revised a tad bit. I want it to be easy. And so therefore, if it's new and it's fun, it's easy to do. And when you're stuck in that spot of finishing that project, you're always stuck at the hard part. Yeah. Or the part that takes a lot more brain power and isn't as much fun. And so then I'm like, ooh, where can I find the fun? Oh, yeah. Where can I stop being so overwhelmed? Let me just move over here to the easy thing, which is really what it is if I'm being realistic and honest about it.
Right. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. I love that. Tina, I saw your hand. Do you want to share a little bit about your relationship with it?
Sure. For me, it's more about, well, I don't know enough, so I need to learn this next before I can do that. So instead of ever implementing, I just keep learning.
Ah, girl, I feel that. So for me, I would get distracted with, I would make a to-do list that was a mile long, not really achievable because it was so long. And then I would feel like well, I didn't get anything done today because my to-do list was so long and I only got 3 things checked off. And so I would have the best intentions of getting it all done. And then I've got the dogs that wanted to come and hang out and make me go play ball. And then my husband would come home from work and be like, what are you doing? Or my daughter would come over and say, do you want to go have lunch? And I would be like, yes, I do, because then I don't have to do the things that I'm supposed to be doing. Right. So I would allow them to breach my boundaries and go do the things because it was a distraction from me actually doing the things that I was supposed to be doing, because I was having some issues with, oh my gosh, what if it actually works? Can I keep it up? What happens if I lose it all? Like working through my own issues. But once I started like becoming aware of it, that's when everything changed for me. Like being aware that, oh, I'm actually sabotaging myself right now by saying yes to go having lunch when I should be saying, you know what, honey, can we go tomorrow? Because I actually have more time tomorrow than I do today. I have a deadline, because if I go to lunch with my beautiful, adorable daughter, I'm actually now going to be working into the evening because I have a deadline that I need to get done. And so that's so hard because I want to spend time with her. And the fact that my adult kid wants to spend time with me, I was making like, oh, well, my daughter wants to spend time with me. I have to give in, So Jennifer, what do you want to add?
I struggle with that. And in hearing you, I have different perspective because I really blamed the fact that I worked from home.
Yes.
And so it's hard and easy to say yes to the day things. Yes to my mom who lives with us. Yes to my husband when he's not working. Oh, COVID killed me. And then, all the other things that people don't understand unless they work from home.
Mm-hmm.
And although if I set my boundaries, they would respect that. My zone is not like, I'm like you. I'm like, well, I just want to spend the time with them. Oh, I want to do that. Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah, I could do that. Sure. It doesn't matter if it's a 3-hour coffee break. Sure, we can do that. And so I think I use the excuse, it's hard because I work from home.
Yeah.
And now I probably, in hearing you talk about it, I'm like, maybe I need to rethink that and see that it's me, not so much work from home.
Right. Yeah. Working from home has definitely, when COVID started, I missed I worked at a co-working space because I just loved being around other people. And then now that I've been working from home for the last almost 2 years, I'm like, that means I have to pack all of a sudden I start making excuses for myself when I know how much more productive I am when I leave my home to go work. Right. It's like, it is a whole mindset situation, and I could go leave the house and be more productive. And now I'm like, oh, people, it's like stuck in this, Okay. So who's ready to get shit done? I have a couple of, so if you are familiar with my book, you know that I am a lover of profanity. It is who I am as a person. And so I recently wrote a book called The Entrepreneur's Guide to getting unfucked, getting out of your own damn way, and getting shit done. And that really is the 1, 2, 3. So you could write getting unstuck if you don't like profanity, that's okay. So number 1, it's mindset. So getting real with yourself, looking at really what's truly going on in your world, and choosing. It's a choice, right? To stay stuck or to not stay stuck. And so number 2 is getting out of your own damn way. And number 3 is getting shit done. It really is like that simple. But I've noticed when I am working on a project or I'm about to start something new, I have to take my own advice. And basically, this is the system that I started using for myself, which is why I wrote this second book specifically for entrepreneurs, was because I noticed that it was the mindset. Until I changed my mindset, my project was not going to produce the results that I was hoping for. So the first thing I have to do is I got to go, what am I afraid of? And start asking myself all the really hard questions. What am I avoiding? Why is change scary for this? What's the worst thing that could happen? What's the best thing that could happen? And really just start asking myself those really hard, deep questions before I start the project, because I love projects. I love doing new shiny things, but I also don't want it to get shelved because I got shiny object syndrome and something else seems more exciting because I'm stuck in my head and can't seem to get it into motion. So once I started figuring out that I really needed to work on my mindset before I got started and started figuring out all of the details, I had to work on my mindset first. And then it put me into a different state of mind, which helped me be a little bit more successful the next time. So I tested this out with the last major project that I did. And I was like, oh my gosh, it actually worked. Holy crap. Oh my gosh, I think I'm onto something. How can I help other people through this? So it was me learning what worked for me and then thinking, well, maybe other people could benefit from this too. So getting out of my own damn way is identifying the things that I need to do, right? Identifying the tasks, identifying the to-do list, we're going to talk about the 3Ds. We'll talk about that in one of the next couple of slides. I'll talk about the 3Ds that I use to help me with the tasks. But then it was making the choice. Getting out of my own damn way is realizing when I'm sabotaging myself, realizing when I'm stuck in mindset, when I'm stuck in self-sabotage or imposter syndrome or anything like that. So it's choosing. It's all choice. And once I choose to get out of my own damn way, then I can, number 3, which is take the action, get shit done, and do it scared. So it's really the mindset, identifying what I have to do and doing it scared. Like really, truly, that's what GSD is really about. Okay. And so one of the things that I gave you space to write here is, how could you implement these 3 concepts into your routine in order to help you crush your goals? What can you do using these 3 concepts and help them help you? So when you're looking at the thing that you're like, oh my gosh, this is so big, this is scary, I've never done this before. Okay. Mindset. What am I scared of? Okay, what are the tasks that I have to do? Okay, what does it look like to do it scared? And then start implementing that and applying that to before you get started. It's like you've set your intention, and now you're gonna move forward. How does that feel for everybody? Anybody want to share how that feels for you?
Yeah, I had to go through this because sometimes when I have files, things come up, there's tasks that somebody else assigns to me. And so I get up early in the morning so that I have 2 hours to do my emails, to do the paperwork, to do all those things that I need to get done before what I call their shiny objects get put in front of me.
Yeah. Right. Gotcha. So let's talk about athletes and entrepreneurs. So with my son being playing college football, he taught me something about business, and it was actually a really cool thing. I think it was last week. My Facebook memories from 3 years ago was a video of my son. Basically, his goal had come true. He had set a goal for himself. He was, as a freshman, he played football all throughout Pee Wees. Gets to high school, wants to be the starting quarterback. That's his goal. He'd been starter quarterback all throughout Pee Wees. That's what he wanted. He was not built. He was a little, going through puberty, very tall, very slender, no meat on his muscles whatsoever. And my husband said, "What are you willing to do?" And my son said, "Whatever it takes." Okay. So we got him a personal trainer, and he went 6 days a week to go work out and his first week he barfed every day, just because he never worked out like that before, never been challenged like that before. And what I realized was that what he taught me was that these 3 traits that successful athletes have that entrepreneurs need in their business are 3 things. The first one, anyone want to guess what it is? I always love hearing people's guesses because they're never right. And I was like, nope, it's not that one. Anyone want to take a guess? What do you think entrepreneurs need that athletes have? Jennifer?
I would say never quit, but it seems too easy.
Okay.
Habits.
Okay. No, but anyone else want to guess?
See, I was going to say
Discipline.
tenacity.
Tenacity?
Vision.
Nope.
How about vision?
Nope.
Belief.
Nope.
Drive.
So here you go. Are you guys ready? The first one is discipline. So discipline is showing up every single day, even when you don't want to. Discipline. The second one is consistency. So it's practice. It's doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And the third one is accountability, which I lovingly steal Shannon Crotty's phrase, "because I said I would." Okay, so here's something that I realized is that Simone Biles, we all love Simone Biles. Can we all agree on that? That woman is she is a fierce to be reckoned with. Do you think she woke up being able to do that? No, she spent how much time every single day in that gym practicing over and over and over and over again. And as entrepreneurs, we need to adopt these traits that these successful athletes have, because they don't wake up one day being an Olympian athlete. It doesn't happen that way. You don't wake up one day and all of a sudden you get to go to the Olympics. You train every single day. You do whatever it takes in order to get there. So what if we treated our business like athletes train for the Olympics? How would that change for you? If you adopted the discipline and said, even though I really don't want to do it, I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to show up and go practice. I'm going to do the same thing over and over and over again, the proven results that I know works in my business, instead of trying to constantly try this way, try this way, try this way, try this way. What if I actually stuck with one thing and actually put in the time and gave it time to blossom and make my seed and my garden grow? Because we are so stuck on instant gratification that we don't give anything time. Well, I don't give anything enough time to blossom. So what if we took that concept, that thing that we really want to make happen, and what if we actually gave it time? And then what if we said, because I said I would? What if we hold ourselves accountable and say, this is what accountability looks like, right? And so if you were to think about you and your business and your behaviors and your habits, what do you need in order to have a successful business? Like, what traits do you need to adopt into your business? And really think about that, because it's going to be different for everyone. Everyone has different perspectives and goals and dreams, different skills, different education levels. Like, we're all different, and that's the beauty of it. But we can all benefit from these 3 traits if we just decide and stay committed. One of the things that I noticed, and Stacy, I'm so glad you're here, because in the month of September, I did a 30-day lead attraction challenge. Stacy Kovitz was the only one who showed up consistently for a significant period of time because everybody else was really good at the beginning. They got all excited about the beginning and then they fizzled out. Their interest fizzled out, even though the tips and the ideas that were being shared could really help them with growing their business and how to attract new leads. And I don't know about you, but that happens to me too. I get really excited about something in the beginning, and then my interest fizzles and I go back to bad habits that I've always been doing. And then I never seem to finish the thing until I started implementing these ideas. And then now it's like, oh my gosh, I'm actually finishing things, right? What would it look like to actually finish something that you started? When's the last time you finished what you started? I was really good about project hopping. When I was a photographer, woohoo, I was a project hopper. I loved doing projects, but I would get bored and I would get distracted and I would move on to something new and exciting because I wasn't getting the interest that I wanted from people. So I would say, well, it must not be a good idea. Let me try something else. I didn't give it enough time. So does anyone want to share, like, what are some behaviors you want to adopt and maybe what are some distractions that are getting in your way that you want to overcome? Because I feel like it's all connected, right? Anyone want to share?
Well, the biggest behavior I want to start is planning, because I've never been a planner and goal setting, even though I've done it, set goals a couple times. I've never done the planning to go into them.
Okay. Love that. Stacy, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say my distractions, it's kind of ironic because I'm online all day, right? I'm an online business owner. So my distractions are my 45 tabs that are open and something will pop up and I know I should just turn off notifications, but it's like, and before you know it, I'm off on 20 different tangents.
Oh, girl. I feel you. I see you. You are seen and heard. You are not alone. Oh my goodness. I can so relate to that. Okay. So we're going to talk about the think method. Now, here's the thing. I do not take credit for this acronym. I learned this from Chris Kenny, who is a brilliant sales. Oh, he's so good. One of the things that I really loved, he created this method called the think method, which I think is so valuable that we can all adopt. But this is a great way to, as you are wanting to create a big goal or have a big dream for yourself, going through this, I think, can be really helpful. So the first step is the T, which is to think about what you want. So what's the goal? What's the dream? Okay. What is that? Then the next part is the H is to have a clear description. So I like to say, get specific and realistic. So if you're like, I want to be $1 million business owner. Okay, great. Have you made $250,000? Because I think what happens is that we set this really super high goal for ourselves, and then we get disappointed every year when we are not $1 million business owner. So instead, I like to go by percentage. I want to do 25% more income than I did last year, or I want to help 5 times more people than I helped last year. So thinking about it in terms of that way, because if I've done it once, I can do it again, but maybe I can shift my strategy in order to bring in a little bit more, but not so unrealistic that I'm going to disappoint myself every single time that it doesn't happen. So that's my method. I don't know what your method is, but that's my method. And then inserting gratitude. So act as if you have already met the goal. So I had a client who was kind of in this place of I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep my business open in the spring of 2022. There's a very specific thing that is happening in her business. She has an employee that is going to be leaving, and in her mind, if I can't find a replacement, my business cannot go on. And it was keeping her in a place of stuck, of I can't grow because what if I don't find someone to replace her in March of 2022, then what's going to happen? So I said, act as if it's all going to work out. Act as if there's already someone that is coming. There's already someone out there that is going to be coming to you because you are manifesting this person. You are saying, I need to find this person, this special person. Act as if you already have them. And once she could do that, then all of a sudden she could finally start to think about the growth of her business. She was so stuck on this what if scenario. What if I don't find someone? I said, act as if you already have that new person. So then start to think about what's going to change. What is life going to be like as if you already have the thing that you want? The biggest part of this, you guys, is notice what shows up. So there's a story, and I put this in my book because I thought it was so impactful, is about, it's a story about a man drowning and praying to God to send him to rescue him. Man is out in the sea drowning, and he says, God, please save me. And here comes a boat. And the guy says, no, I'm waiting for God to save me. And the boat continues. And then along comes a helicopter, whatever, trying to save him. No, I'm waiting for God to save me. And then here comes another, I don't know, some other sort of method. And the guy says no. And he dies, he drowns, and he goes to heaven. And then he says, God, I thought you were going to save me. He goes, I sent you 3 ways to save yourself, and you chose to ignore them because we're always looking for the lightning bolt. If I'm supposed to do this, send me a sign. Right? Have you ever done that? My daughter just did that the other day. If it's meant to be, I'm going to get a sign. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But you're not looking for what is being presented to you. The opportunities that are showing up in you, you can't see them because you're so stuck in that you want it, but you don't really want it. You want it, but you're scared. You want it, but what if? So when you say, this is what I want, you have to pay attention to the opportunities that are going to come into your lap, that are going to give you a way to make it happen. So you got to pay attention. And then the hardest part is to say yes, because it's being presented to you. It's coming to you for a reason. And if you say no, well, then you're just waiting for the lightning bolt, not realizing that your solution is right in front of you. So notice what shows up. If you say, I want to have 50 more clients, and then someone comes along into your experience that says, I can help you get 50 more clients. And you say, no, I can't afford that. Right? So you got to really pay attention to what shows up. And then you have to trust the process and move in faith, keep moving in faith, which is K, believing that it's all going to work out and that you are worthy of receiving it. Isn't that good, you guys? I have just always I love that. And I always, when I am starting something new, I print this out, this method, and I fill it out because I feel like it helps me to set the intention and to basically say, okay, what's showing up? Oh my gosh, here's this person that's come into my experience. Yeah, I asked for them. I need to pay attention to what's going on here and say yes. Okay, even when I don't know what's going to happen, I just have to believe that it's all going to work out. So the day-to-day distractions. So let's talk about those. We have home or office distractions for all of us that work at home. You know what I'm talking about, right? The kids, the partners, the spouses, the pets, the chores, coworkers, all the things. It was really funny when people started going back to the office after working from home for so long. And I saw a guy's TikTok and he goes, I got zero work done because everybody just sat at my desk all day and wanted to tell me about their kids and all the things that's been going on. He goes, I don't like working at the office. I get so much more done when I'm at home. And I was like, oh my gosh. So having coworkers disrupt you all day long can be really hard. And just like having kids or having animals or having a partner or whatever distract your day, it can be hard to get back into the flow. And then we have our general distractions, which are social media. Yay. The thing we need, but the thing that distracts the holy bejesus out of us because we don't want to miss out. FOMO is a real thing, right? Comparisonitis. Anyone else struggle with comparisonitis when you're looking at what everybody else is doing and thinking I should already be there, and because I'm not, I'm trash and nobody likes me and blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's real. Tasks that are busy work that are really not going to help you accomplish your goals or produce income. So the things that we could do on the 3Ds that we're going to talk about is doing tasks that you could actually delegate to somebody else. You are responsible for bringing income into your business, right? So let's focus on those priorities. The next one, this is true for a lot of people, including myself, is spending time on things that you are not good at. Why are you spending 3 hours making a Canva flyer when you could delegate that to someone? It will take them 30 minutes. What is that 3 hours worth to you? What could you be doing instead? Right? So let's agree to stop doing things that are not in our zone of genius. Okay. And then, like Stacy said, multitasking and having multiple tabs open on our desktop. We're not ever getting anything accomplished because we're trying to do 50 things at one time. And okay, I'll do 10 minutes here. And then, oh, I get distracted. And now I'm over here and I've spent 20 minutes over here, but I never finished the thing that would have just, right? It's so much. It's like, how do we get anything done like that? I don't even know, girl. So let's talk about the 3Ds. So when I am making my to-do list, I make 3 columns. I have the do column, I have the delegate column, and I have the ditch column. So do it, delegate it, or ditch it. So you have to decide, like, I'm the only one who can record a masterclass. I'm the only one who can do a live video because I'm the business. Wouldn't make sense for my assistant to record videos as me, right? But what my assistant can do is she can help me with the posting, the scheduling, the creation of the graphics, even though I love to make graphics. Is it the best use of my time? Right? So what are the things that I'm the only one, because my brain, what are the things that I'm the only one who can do? What are things that I could easily pass off to my assistant with enough information? She could do it for me. And what is the ditch it is, what's on my list that really is not a priority, that maybe could be put off for a couple more months, or maybe it's a bonus activity that I could do when I have some extra time or something like that, right? So that's how I divide up my list. Do it, delegate it, or ditch it. So I gave you some space if you wanted to practice that and like look at your to-do list and maybe write some things that you might want to start practicing on how you could structure that. So let's talk about implementation. So oh man, implementation is like my favorite. I love to help people put their ideas into motion. But one of the things I realized is that in order to, like, if you were to think about your business as a set of stairs, you get to this level, everything's going great, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to go to the next level. Now you have to figure out, who do I need to become, or what do I need to learn in order to get to that next level? So if you were to think about that as levels, and that at each time you have to basically, the cost of your future business is your current business. In order to get to the next level, you have to almost embody a new attitude, a new mindset, and you have to be able to learn something new. So it's it's a stairs situation. You're climbing stairs. You're like climbing a mountain, right? What do I need to do to get to the next level? Who do I need to become? Do I need to become more confident? Do I need to become more trusting? Do I need to delegate more? Because remember, I don't know about you, but I've never met anyone that built $1 million business without help. You cannot do that on your own. So if you're like, I want to be $1 million business, okay, but where do you go? It's not going to happen overnight. Number one, Jeff Bezos did not become a millionaire overnight. He worked in his basement selling books for how long before anything major happened? But hiring people, hiring help, hiring the right coaches, hiring the right people that are going to help you make all of that a reality. Even when you're like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. Guess what? Delegating some of those tasks, will you focus on income producing activities, can pay for those people that are there to help you. Do you see what I'm saying? So here's a question for you. I would love for you guys to participate in this question. What is the best advice you could give yourself to stay focused and achieve your goals? If you were to give your future self advice or give advice to someone else, what would you say? Who wants to go first? Just unmute.
I will.
Okay.
I say stay focused. I guess that's the discipline.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Lynn.
I'm a disciplined one too, because that's actually the word I used when you were asking, but we were talking.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting is to get up and show up.
Yes. Yeah.
And even when it doesn't feel right, or even when something else comes in the way, but I'm also like the big squishy heart here of life and business intersect. So the prioritization is really key, and to keep that in order first, and every day.
Yes. Love that. Anyone else?
Last one is give yourself some grace.
Yes. Give yourself grace, space and grace, right? It's not always going to be rainbows and unicorns. You're going to have rainy days and thunderstorms and windstorms, and your fence is going to blow over and all the things are going to happen. You are going to be tested. One of the biggest lessons I learned about the universe testing you when I was a photographer and I decided I no longer wanted to photograph children. I packed up my car of all the baby props and I was taking them over to another photographer's house who loved it. And guess what happened? My car is packed full. And here comes this woman who owns a prominent salon in the community. And she was like, I would really love you to photograph my 1.5-year-old. And I was like, crap. I was in scarcity mindset. So I said yes. And then I realized why I was choosing to not do it anymore. It was like confirmation that I was making the right choice, because it was awful. And it was like, once I had decided that I didn't want to do it anymore, and here I am forcing myself to do something that doesn't bring me joy, I was like, God, she's cute and all, and I love her, and I loved holding her hand, and we walked in the park, but this does not bring me joy. But the universe was like, are you sure? Are you sure that you're done photographing children? I'm going to bring you a test and I'm going to test it out, and let's see what you do. How do you handle that? So then I had to learn, when someone would call and I want you to take my child's photos, I would say, guess what? That's actually not what I do, but I have a great referral for you. Because I wanted to still be the hero and I didn't want to disappoint people, because I have issues with people pleasing and disappointing people. First oldest daughter in the family, right? Disappointment is a huge thing for me. So being aware of it though, once I was aware of it, then I could do something about it. So accountability, I've given you some spots if you want to write down some stuff about accountability, but how will you hold yourself accountable? And this is not, I don't want you to think that it's punishment, because it's not about punishment. Okay. It's about, because I said I would means what? That I'm going to show up and I'm going to do the things even if I don't want to. I might get myself an accountability buddy, right, to check in with me and make sure that I did what I said I was going to do. So what do you need in order to hold yourself accountable? And what habits do you need to achieve the goal that you have set for yourself? You know, showing up every day. I need to set 30 minutes on my calendar to do follow-ups. Like, what do you need? I'm a time blocker. So I'm about to start time blocking the holy bejesus out of my calendar for my event on Friday, because I realized that I've kind of gotten out of the habit of it, and I have better results in my business when I do it. So I'm like, okay, I'm spending the day and this is what I'm going to do. Okay. What habits might slow you down on achieving those goals? So the habits of trying to multitask and do 20 things at one time, scrolling Facebook without intention, because it's okay to be on Facebook with intention, right? With intention. And why is accountability important to your success? Like, why do you want that for yourself? Without a why, you're not going to have a way. Okay. And then I love SMART goals. I don't know about you guys, but I love SMART goals. And so these are some things that you could ask yourself while you are setting goals for yourself. You could also call them planned accomplishments. I know some people don't like the word goals, and that's okay. I love to use the word planned accomplishments because it makes me feel like I've already accomplished those things. Like I am planning to accomplish these things rather than saying I have goals. So when I say goals, I also mean planned accomplishments. So what do you want to achieve? Remember to be specific. How do you know that planned accomplishment is on the right path for you? How do you know that it's in alignment? I'm very much about alignment. And when I'm out of alignment, that's when I notice that shit hits the fan. Things stop working properly when I am not in alignment. So my values and my goals have to be in alignment. So how will you measure your success? So what's a tangible result? So whether that's numbers, so money, number of clients, whatever that looks like for you, how will you measure? How will you measure it? What are the steps? Is it attainable? Attainable, remember, realistic. Why is it important to you? And it has to be, in my mind, it has to be more than about money. If it's just about the money, even though there's nothing wrong with money, but I don't want it to just be about money. I want it to be about impact. I want it to be about helping people. So does the thing that I'm doing, how can I have an impact on other people's lives? And can I relate that to my values? One of my biggest values is kindness. And so how can I show up and be kind in my business every single day? And then when do you want to accomplish this? What's the timeline? Is it 90 days, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years? And the beauty of it is that you can create one of these for every single goal, every single planned accomplishment that you want. Fill one of these out for every single one. So if you want to write a book, fill one out. If you want to launch a program, fill one out, right? And then setting your intentions. So if you're like, my intention is to only use, this is what I've done for myself because I love TikTok. I'm not even going to lie. I love TikTok. I love the videos, the creativity, the fun, the quirkiness. I laugh every single time. So when am I allowed to be on TikTok? That's what I had to ask myself, because I could spend all day on TikTok and get nothing done. So my lunch break. So I intentionally go sit at my kitchen table and eat my lunch as if I was working in an office. I eat away from my desk, because otherwise I won't eat. I will just bring it to my desk, and then all of a sudden I'm working and I forget to eat the food. And I need that for nourishment and fuel, right? So while I'm eating my lunch, I will scroll on TikTok for 30 minutes. And then at the end of the day, if my husband and I are just watching reruns, then I might watch some videos. And then we have 8 o'clock is we watch a movie or we watch a show together, but that's like our together time. He's done with football, I'm done with everything, and we just hang out together. So like I've given myself scheduled procrastination tasks, right? I'm allowed to procrastinate during my lunch break and after my office hours. So thinking about you and how you want to show up in your business, when are you going to allow yourself to procrastinate and scroll aimlessly? Because we all need it. We all need to take a break and not be work 24/7, but do it with intention, right? So my question for you is, what are you willing to do? Like my son, my husband said, what are you willing to do? If you want to be the starting quarterback, what are you willing to do? If you want to have a successful business, a thriving business, what are you willing to do to get that? Are you willing to show up? Are you willing to do the hard work? Are you willing to be disciplined, learn how to be consistent, build a solid foundation, and hold yourself accountable? I can't hear anybody.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Good. Love that.
We're talking. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That's very
Yes,
important.
ma'am.
Yes. So are you ready to finally get out of your own damn way and get shit done? Right? Because that really is the question. And so are you willing to try something different in order to get a different result? Because how has things been working up to this point? Are you satisfied with how things are going? Are you thinking, man, I really could use a little bit of help or a little bit of support? I really want to try a different way. This is not working the way that I want it to. So are you willing to try something different? What are you willing to do? And if you're like, I'll do anything, I would love to talk to you about that. So I have created what I call the Get Shit Done Together group, because I learned that I thrive when I have a group of people working with me where we are holding each other accountable to accomplish our goals, our planned accomplishments, and things like that. So if I have that group of people, I know I do better. And so I know if I'm going to do better, maybe other people might do better too, and maybe they'd like to come along and join us. So when you notice and admit that you are both the problem and the solution in your business, then you can say, I need support and I need accountability. And if you've ever said to yourself, I wish there were more hours in the day, then this is something that's for you. So what I am planning on doing is I've created a group that's going to help you with productivity, consistency, accountability, mindset, confidence, habits, focus, and goals. I've created a very minimal time schedule. So I'm not all about, hey, let's spend all day on Zoom together so that nobody gets anything done. So literally 30 minutes for monthly goal setting once a month. The first one is October 29th, but we'll do one the last business day of each month. We'll be doing goal planning for the next month. And then every Monday, we're going to have 30 minutes, which is mindset and momentum mastermind. And so we'll be sharing what we're working on for the week, getting the support that you need, figuring out what do you need to learn. And then on Tuesdays, I will do Teach Me Tuesdays, which is basically the things that you said you needed to learn, I will teach them to you. And if I can't teach it to you, I know someone who can. That's the beauty of it, is that I have a really great, huge network of people that I could say, hey, my people want to learn this. Would you come teach it to us? I'm not an expert in everything, but I know where to find the answers. Okay. And then every Friday we'll celebrate our wins. We have our own little private Facebook group. But what I have set up so far is a 30-day challenge. I call it No Excuses November. So that starts November 1st. And that is really a good way to test you on not letting your mojo fizzle. So this is an opportunity to say, I'm really excited about this, and how can we maintain our excitement for this and actually finish what we started? It's a really great first step. And then in January, we're going to start our next challenge, because nobody wants to do anything big like this in December. Like, no, let's not do that. So January, we'll have already proven to ourselves that we can do hard things. And we're going to do a 100-day business health challenge starting January 1st. So these will be small little things that you can implement into your business in order to have greater business health. So we'll have self-care, there'll be mental health, there'll be marketing, social media, all the things you could possibly think of in 100 days. Okay. And so I made this very affordable because I didn't want it to be a huge time suck, but I wanted it to be a place where you can come and get support that you need in order to accomplish your goals. So I have 3 payment options. The first one is $99 a month. So super affordable. The second one is you could do $297 in a quarter. So that's 4 payments every 3 months. Or you could also do a pay in full option. You would save $203, and I would send you a copy of my book signed. Okay. Plus I'll even throw in a bag of cool shit. Just saying. So if that is something that you are interested in, you can go to getshitdonetogethergroup.com. You can, if you have the PDF, you can actually click on the sign up. It'll take you right there. You can scan the QR code. It'll take you right there. But we are getting started on October 29th is going to be our first activity. And then every Monday, every Tuesday, 1 hour a week, if that, maybe an hour and a half, depending on, and the Tuesday class is optional. So it's really about, if you feel like you need support with accomplishing your goals, if you have big goals and dreams and you need a little bit of help to help you get there, we'd love to have you. Because I don't know about you, but I like to get shit done together instead of by myself. So if anyone has any questions, the floor is open. Feel free to ask away, but I am so excited about this because this is like one of those things that I plan to finish what I started.
I have a question on the December one.
Yeah.
So it starts the 29th and then goes through November, and then there's a break in December.
No, I'm not doing a challenge in December.
Okay.
So the classes will continue, but there's no challenge. So we're doing one challenge in November, and we'll do another one starting in January. And then we'll probably have another one, some other ones, but these are the ones that I have scheduled so far.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to be, because December is crazy already, and so I don't want to put more onto people because that's really just setting you up for failure.
Okay.
And disappointment, I should say. So, anyone else have any questions? Well, if you do
have a question,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say thank you. And you did a great job. Good job of explaining everything.
Thank you, Jeanette. I really appreciate
same thing
that.
as Jeanette. Yeah, it was awesome. You're great.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys so very, very much. So thank you for coming. If you want to talk more privately, feel free to send me a message, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have. But thank you guys so very much for coming and learning and supporting and all of those things. So, mwah.
Bravo. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, great program.